Morning, everybody. Welcome to day 21 of our March Micro Minimizing Challenge. Um, Today's topic is shoes in your entranceway. So, for those of you with large shoe collections, you are cringing right now, saying, "What is she going to say about my shoe collection?" uh, I really am focusing in, though, with a micro focus on the entranceway shoes. And the reason being is your entranceway is where you come in, and you want that area to be clear of trip hazards. You want that area to be kind of welcoming, right, when you walk in your entranceway. And one of the things that tends to collect in the entrance is shoes, because everybody comes in, takes their shoes off, and you've got different kinds of shoes for different purposes, and that's an area where they tend to collect. So we're going to look at shoes. Some people would say that they would have a collection of shoes, and my thinking on collections is when people think of a collection, it becomes one thing. It becomes all or nothing, right? I like to think of collections as you break them down into individual items. So don't think of it as a collection of shoes. Think of it as individual shoes and take each individual item and consider it as one. That's, first of all, really important. You also need to consider how many people live in your home, because that can affect how many shoes you have at the entranceway. You have to consider what each person's individual needs are for their shoes, and that can be different for each person in your house. You may have one person that needs more pairs of shoes than another person, just due to what they do with their lifestyle and what they need quick access to at the door. So you're going to ask yourself questions like, for each pair of shoes, have I ever worn this pair of shoes? Do I wear this pair of shoes with a specific outfit? And do I ever wear that outfit? And how often do I wear that outfit? When was the last time I wore this pair of shoes? Could someone else be enjoying this pair of shoes? Okay. And you're going to have your keep, your donate, your garbage boxes or bags at the ready. Okay. And you're going to add in wherever the shoes go individually. It would be best, obviously, if you can have the persons whose shoes they belong to involved in this project. Especially a partner or your kids. They can help determine, especially kids, do these shoes still fit you? Right? Kids are growing. They 10 minutes and their shoes don't fit. So ask, do these shoes fit you? Do you still use them? Do you need 5 pairs of runners? Which ones do you wear every day? Which ones are ready to go? And if the shoes are extremely worn out, obviously they're garbage. If they're still in a condition that somebody else could use them, then they appreciate that. You can donate them to your thrift store. Any shoes that are not worn regularly, meaning pretty much daily, do not need to be at the entranceway. So these shoes can be put into a bedroom closet. They can be put into a storage area elsewhere in the house. But sometimes I find even that strategy doesn't quite work, because then you go and use those shoes and then you bring them in and they get left at the door, and you kind of have this constant rollover of shoes gathering back at the front door. So I think a really good maintenance idea is to actually, if you have a bench that you sit on at the front or at your entranceway to put your shoes on, could it be a storage bench, right? Something that you have storage right available right at your entranceway, but not all the shoes need to be out visibly, on the floor and creating clutter. So then that way your shoes are still in the area where you would use them. They're easily put away. If it's not a storage bench, it could be some of those, those cubbies, those fabric cubbies that you can get now, and each person can have their own fabric cubby, and maybe you have some kind of storage that way, if that works better for your family. So you want to examine each pair of shoes individually. What kind of shape are they in? Do they need replacing? Were they comfortable? Do you like wearing them? If you didn't have these shoes, what would you use instead? Because you might already have another pair of shoes that would suffice. So you don't need duplicates or multiple pairs of shoes for the same purpose, right? And do these shoes serve a purpose? With shoes, I think of them a little bit different. You could have shoes that you don't love but serve a purpose, and those are okay to keep if they, if you don't have, if you only have one pair of shoes serving that purpose, right? You don't need multiple shoes serving the same purpose. But with shoes, it's really easy to get caught up in, oh, I love this pair of shoes, but you don't wear them, they don't serve a purpose. You just like looking at them. You don't need those shoes, right? So when it comes to loving shoes, the answer should be yes to both questions. Do I love them? And do they serve a purpose? Okay. It's not just do I love them, because shoes is somewhere where you can really get caught up in collecting shoes because they're pretty, or, they're funky, or they're cool, or they're whatever, whatever it is that attracts you to that pair. So make sure that you don't just have them because you love them, but you don't wear them. They don't serve a purpose. Somebody else could be enjoying those shoes and wearing them. Also be careful of, I absolutely love these shoes, but man, do they hurt my feet. I have a pair of strappy shoes that I absolutely love, but I can't really walk in them for very far, for very long. My feet get really sore. So, when I wear them, it's like, oh, well, what are we doing? Or if we're just going from the car to the restaurant and I'm going to be sitting for some, okay, no, it's time for those shoes to go, because if they're not functional, then, you can't plan your life around, well, I can't really walk very far with these shoes, right? So those ones go. Those ones go. Okay. It's really important once you get this area organized, because it's so amazing to walk into your house and not have the clutter right at the door to meet you. It's so refreshing to walk in and be like, wow, this area is nice and clean. And of course, we're focusing just on shoes for the micro part of this challenge. But this is a high traffic area. You've got people in your home coming and going. The shoes get left, they kind of kick them off because your arms are full with carrying in whatever you're carrying in. So maintaining this area is really important, and it's important to stay on top of it consistently. So whether that's every day, you kind of give it a quick check over, make sure everything's in order. The best habit, of course, is to train yourself and everybody in your home that when you come in, you put your shoes away immediately, right? You don't leave it till later. And that way it's done. I mean, it takes half a second, to put the shoes back on the shelf. If the shoes are wet, you might have a drying tray or something like that for them. And then once they're dry, you put them away in the closet. It's really important for everybody in your home to be participating in the maintenance, because it's not fair for one person to have to be, cleaning up after everybody else. This is an area where everybody can be cleaning up after themselves. If somebody leaves their shoes out, just say, hey, you know what, please go put your shoes away, right? And they'll get tired of being asked, and eventually they'll start to, hey, when you come in, please put your shoes away. Be really helpful. It helps the family, makes the area looks nice and clean. Okay. If you're considering some kind of storage for your shoes, wait until after you're finished the declutter, so that you can really see clearly how many shoes you have and what kind of storage you think you're going to need, where you're going to store the shoes that you're not using every day, whether you need something for storage near your front entrance, or it's okay, we're going to have extra shoes each in our own bedrooms, in the closets. Do you have another area in your laundry room, say, where you're going to have extra shoes stored? So don't run out and plan shoe storage until after you've done going through your shoes. Okay, because that'll save you some money. You might find that you downsize your shoes enough that you actually don't need any other storage by the time you really consider what you really need and what serves a purpose for the shoes that you need and have. But staying on top of that area reduces the trip hazard. It actually reduces quite a bit of stress because it really is refreshing to walk in and not have that clutter all over the floor. So if you have any questions or concerns or anything you want to share, talk about, feel free to reach out to me. You can visit me on my website. That's always linked on Instagram through my bio. On Facebook, it's linked in the notes, and on YouTube as well, it's linked in the notes. So feel free to reach out to me. You can email me through my website. You can DM me on social media as well. I'm more than happy to talk to you at any time. Don't forget to subscribe or give me a follow. All right. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.